Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of Ball Talk with me, Lewis Bryon. Today, I'm joined by a footballer for Charlton Athletic, currently on loan at Bath City, Richard Chin. Richard, how are you, mate?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, all good, all good. Well, I just wanted to start with the present day, yeah? So, current season, I know you just told me, actually, as we walked in, that you've just got injured. But prior to that, how's the season going?
It's been a really weird season for me. Lots of ups and downs. Being on loan, I went on loan to Dartford and I went on loan to Bath, injuries, and unfortunately I'm injured at the moment, so there's been a lot of ups and downs, but I'm really excited to get to the end of this season and have a really good season next year.
Yeah, and crack on, I suppose, yeah. So I think you got, start of the year, you got a few appearances for Dartford, was it, the first half? And then a few appearances for Bath the second half of the season, yeah? And then what injury you got now?
I did my hammy.
Hammy?
Yeah, left hamstring, 4C. So I just avoided surgery, which is good, but that meant that my season was over.
Okay, so hopefully back for what, pre-season?
Yeah, hopefully I'll be fully fit for pre-season and ready to go.
Cool. So you're currently on loan at Bath before you got injured. Who's the gaffer there? Is Jerry Gill? Was it?
Yeah, Jerry Gill.
Yeah. How is he? How is he as a guy?
He's really good. Yeah, really nice, really calm. So it's been a really good setup there. There's been a lot of continuity because I think he's been there for the last 2 or 3 years. So it's really nice to go into a stable environment. Having been at Dartford and also been at Charlton, it was really good to be in a set where the boys have been together for a long time. It was very organised and it was really good.
Yeah.
Really
what sort of style of play would you say he has the boys playing at Bath?
We played a 4-4-2, so I played right midfield in a 4-4-2, mid block. Didn't really have to press too much structurally. Everyone knew their roles and positions, so there wasn't much crossover. We were very compact, out of possession, and then in possession, just get wide, which suited me. So I was playing wide, getting the ball, and then just make stuff happen. So for me, it was perfect. Yeah,
fair enough. So you just mentioned it there. Is it winger or fullback? You said you should.
So I was
play
playing
wide.
right midfield of 4-4-2.
Okay, cool. And
so further forwards.
Would you say that's your favourite position?
I've played so many different positions over the last 2 years. I think it doesn't really matter anymore as long as I can make an impact on the pitch. But certainly, like the right wing back, right midfield, right wing area, just being on the side. I do prefer playing further forwards.
Do you? Yeah, as opposed to right back.
Yeah, I'm happy to play full back, especially for Charlton. When we've got a lot of the ball and you can still get forward, it doesn't make too much difference. You can roll inside, get really high. So it just depends on the state of the game and where I'm playing.
So for Bath, you've just played right mid, is it?
Yeah. Just right midfield.
So what sort of demands does Jerry put on you as like a right mid?
To be fair, they were really good. Like they kind of just trusted me. Out of possession, we had a nice shape, so just stay in shape. When we went to jump, we'd just jump if it was on, just to make sure like the team didn't come up too high. And then in possession, he just said, "Give me the ball, let me like be positive, get at the fullback, try and get as many crosses in as possible, get some shots off, and just express myself." So there wasn't too much that they really said to me. It just
not too many restrictions, is it?
Yeah, just let me go out there and play, which was good.
Lovely. And you said, I know you said your favourite position is like sort of higher up the pitch, further on the wing. But have you played in midfield before?
Yeah. So between I think 12 to 18, I played centre midfield.
Yeah.
And I got injured, and as soon as I came back, when I was a first year pro, they just moved me to full back because all the defenders were injured. And I did well there. I hit myself because after I was playing well there, I ended up playing wing back that whole season. So we played a back three, and then from there I broke through in the first team playing full back, left back or right back, just to get myself in the door. And yeah.
So you played all over, really?
Yeah, just actually all over, other than centre back or striker.
Yeah, maybe that's the height at centre back, innit? I'll just touch on Dartford a little bit. Okay, so who was your gaffer at Dartford? Was it Alan?
Yeah, Alan Dowson.
How was that? How was his style, first of all, compared to going in at Bath? Did you have to adapt a lot, or was it?
Yeah, so I was there at the end of last season as well, as the start of this season, and he was very direct. Last year, like they were doing really well. We finished second, I think. So I was coming into a team that was already second. There's a lot of experienced players that come from the league, and it was very direct. Not too much tactical, but everyone on the pitch knew their roles. So I think it was like very changing room led in terms of like the experienced boys there kind of knew how they wanted to play.
Yeah.
And they kind of just made the team play that way on the pitch. So there was not too much in terms of tactical from Dallas other than obviously picking the team. Yeah. And then on the pitch it was very like self-organised.
So you had probably, would you say you had more freedom maybe, or the managers got slightly less involved, would you say?
I think they had the setup. I think because I'd come in at the end of the season, everyone knew what to do. So I think that like the coach had obviously decided how the team were playing. Since I was coming in at that late stage, we were quite direct, hit teams on the counter, but we would play in the opposition's half. Don't really play build.
Is this Dartford? Sorry.
Yeah, Dartford. Yeah, no real build at all, and just play in the opposition's half. Be direct and be positive.
So then, how did you have to adapt a lot from playing in that, like you said, direct style of play in the opposition's half? Did you have to adapt at all?
Not really, because I think at Charlton, playing in League One, when I played, like, League One is a very direct league anyway. Like, teams don't really overplay out from the back. Some teams will play out from the back, but not every team like wants to really play like academy football. It's a very mixed bag. So, like, I've been used to playing direct or playing short. So going to Dartford, the only difference was, I think, because I was playing further forward, I was getting the ball in the same area I would when, if I was playing academy football as a wing back, I'd be getting the ball in that same area.
So it translated quite well, actually, even though it's different.
Because it's so direct, if I was playing full-back for like Dartford, I wouldn't be able to get up the pitch.
Yeah.
It's just so goes along so quickly, I wouldn't be able to get up the pitch.
So and how about from Dartford to Bath? Did you have to adapt a lot for that?
A little bit, but I think it was an easier adaptation because I didn't have to do as much work off the ball. Because the team shape I felt was like more compact, and like it was just a lot more secure. So everyone kind of knew their roles this season. So it just meant I could go in straight away, don't have to really like communicate too much to my teammates, and I can just focus on my own game rather than like tracking runners that I shouldn't be tracking. Yeah. And then like running all over the place.
Okay, well, fair enough. So not too much then, and I suppose being in League One helped for when you went there anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Like, just as I said, it's quite a mixed league anyway in terms of how different teams play. Nice.
Well, I want to touch on your debut, okay, for Charlton. This is. So obviously I think your debut was in the EFL Trophy, was it?
Yeah, EFL Trophy. That was when I was a first year pro.
Do you remember it well, that debut?
Yeah, it was against Leyton Orient. I can't remember how I found out I was playing, but because it was the EFL Trophy, I kind of like in my head I never had that as my actual official debut.
Yeah, so I mean you had one. Was it the year later you had against the actual league debut?
Yeah, Forest Green.
Yeah,
but the one against Leyton Orient, that was just a great experience. I played right back or right wing back. I think it was right wing back. Johnny Jackson was the gaffer there, and it was just a really good experience playing against Leyton Orient. I think when I came off it was 0-0 and then they conceded, so we lost 1-0.
Because you come off,
Nah, not because of that.
Always feels better though, doesn't it?
It was a tough game, and I came off at about 75 minutes, but I walked the other side of the pitch to where the bench was, so I got to like walk around all of the Charlton fans.
Oh, that's top, yeah.
So that was one of the best experiences I've had, like just clapping the fans. Because sometimes when you come off, you just go straight off. Yeah. So I got to like clap them, see them, walk past on my first game. So like that was an unbelievable experience. It just made me want to play for the first team so much more. Yeah. So that was the only real taste I had of it that year.
So you said it didn't feel like your main debut, or?
Yeah, because in my head I always had like I need to play in the league. I need to play for the first team in the league, and obviously when it's the EFL Trophy, it's a great opportunity for young players. But like you're not really part of the first team still.
It's almost like we're putting our younger players.
I was put in for that game. I'm not sure whether there were injuries or they just wanted to play like some of the younger players. Yeah. But then like after that, I didn't really train with the first team again, or like particularly like stay with the group.
So it weren't like you were part of it.
Yeah, it was a great taste, but like it just left me wanting more.
Yeah. So we go on to the league debut. Did you feel again? Did all them feelings come back? Did you feel like it's a debut again?
That was weird because I'd played in the cup games before.
Oh, okay.
Because I'd played in the cup games and I played in pre-season against Swansea, last game of pre-season. I make my way over to the first team. I'd kind of been with the first team.
You were a part of it then, weren't you?
Yeah, so I was part of the squad, part of the training squad, and it still felt great. Yeah. Like obviously, like we had, I think, Ben Garner at the time.
Yeah, he signed me at Palace actually, Ben Garner.
Really?
Yeah. He's top. How did you find him?
Yeah, I really liked him. Yeah. I got through into the first team under him.
Yeah, he loves bringing through young players.
It was a great experience, like having him as gaffer, and so we kind of knew for shape because Ben Garner loved like putting shape on in terms of like Thursday, Friday, the team you kind of know from how he does the training sessions, where some gaffers don't like, they don't do any shape.
They hide it from you, don't they?
So you have absolutely no idea who's starting and who's not going to be on the bench. Yeah. But with him, I had a feeling because I was in like the starting 11 side for the first time. I was like, I might be starting.
It's so many like mental like little mind games going on in there.
Yeah.
What was you thinking when you were in like the starting 11 for Thursday and Friday? Were you thinking, right, I'm in here, I've got to, like, did you get nervous?
Yeah, I had an idea because I think we played Saturday and then Tuesday, and I think I made my debut on the Tuesday, so I had an idea.
Yeah.
And there's a few injuries as well, so I had an idea, but it was weird. I forgot about dealing with it actually, because you have like 3 nights where you're going to bed thinking about, I might be starting.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like finding out on the day of the game that you're playing.
Yeah.
So it was quite weird sleeping, like thinking I might be starting. But then, yeah.
You get more time to actually maybe overthink it, don't you? Instead of just finding out on the day and being chucked into it.
Yeah, but it was good. I was prepared. I was ready, and I played 17 minutes in that game. I think we drew 1-1. Conceded a goal like just from a mistake, and we should have really won that game. But
was you playing full back there?
Yeah, I played left back.
Yeah. Okay, so, nice, decent.
Yeah.
And so obviously you come from, I think it would have been under 23s at that point, maybe 21s, into started making some first team appearances. What would you say the main difference was? Like obviously there'll be a step up in level.
I think everything.
Everything, yeah.
Honest, yeah, like you got just looking at obviously the boys in the first team, the levels. A lot more physical, like in terms of centre backs, strikers, all physical presence. Like obviously because they're men and they're playing at that level. The experience in midfield, there's a lot of experienced players as well, and even fullbacks and out wide. There's a lot. All of the wingers are quick and very good 1v1.
Yeah.
And all of the fullbacks are generally quite hard to beat or physical. And if they're not, they're very technical and they've got a lot of experience. If they're a little bit slower, they've just got a lot more experience. So. All around the pitch, there's a big step up, and then that's before putting the crowd into it and the stakes of the game, in terms of like managers being sacked, like pressure on people's jobs, and then the fans.
Yeah,
like,
a whole different game.
Yeah,
innit?
It's completely different. Like, I think the easiest way to say it is training. Obviously, you should train how you want to play, but when in the season with the first team, there's so many games coming on that the starting 11 never really train properly.
Because they want to be so fresh.
They want to be fresh for the games. They're always recovering, and there's a game every 2 or 3 days. So you never really get to test yourself against the boys that are starting because they're obviously kind of recovering. So when I'm training with the first team, it's obviously a better level, but it's completely different to like them playing on a match.
They're sort of going through the motions, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's the thing with like 18s, 23s. You're all about trying to build up your body, build up your strength, your fitness, really get miles into your legs, and then as soon as you get first team, the training's sort of like. It's intense, but it's all about making sure you're feeling perfect 100% for the match day, innit?
Yeah, I mean, I did find that quite hard to cope with in terms of because I wanted to train and improve myself. Then going over to the first team environment and then not playing or being on the bench and you're not playing, I feel like I need to train.
Yeah.
And then obviously like
you're not getting it.
Yeah, the schedule isn't train because you're travelling on Tuesday, you're travelling on Saturday. There's just so many games. So it was a different experience and something I had to deal with personally as well.
Yeah, that is that's another challenge really, especially if you're not getting the minutes in the games. You're not getting the intensity of the training. So I mean, how do you approach that?
I think I've learned obviously it's just about balance. If you kind of know you're playing, the good thing about Bengana was because I wanted to train so much. Like if I wasn't involved in the match day, or if I was just on the bench or maybe 90 man, I wanted to maybe do like a second session on the Friday or do loads of training. But he was quite good with like he'd say like chill out, you don't need to train today, and then he'd be like you get minutes in the cup on Tuesday. So it'd like settle me down a bit because I know I'm going to play. I'd be like okay, that's fine, like that means I can kind of just like chill out, don't overdo it, don't overcook myself, and then be ready for when I'm going to be called upon. Yeah,
he's top with young players, Ben, isn't he?
Yeah, it was good.
Is he? Do you know is he at anywhere now?
I'm not sure, and I don't think he's.
No, because he was at. How long was he at Charlton? About a year or so.
I think maybe like 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah,
was Johnny there when you were there? Johnny Williams?
Johnny Williams, no, that was before.
Oh, it was before, was it?
Just before.
Okay. When you started playing, like you said, I think you got that first season where you started playing League One matches. I think you got like what 5 or 6 appearances.
I think
was it
5 appearances?
Was there a standout tough team you played that you thought, wow, like these are tough?
I had like 3. Like, I think I only made 2 starts and then 3 on the bench.
Yeah.
So, not really, not from like what I remember.
Yeah, okay. So
I think Oxford were good. Like the second time when I played after Christmas under the new gaffer Dean Holden, Oxford were like
stick out in your mind. Yeah.
I can't remember who I went up against. I think it was one of the Murphy brothers, and then that other right back was foreign, but he was just rapid. Down that side. And I was playing wing back, left wing back. I had to deal with both. I think we ended up losing 3-1, but we were 3-0 down at half time. So that was a tough learning curve, but
sticks out in the mind as a tough game, yeah. And then, of course, you touched on it earlier a bit. You went on loan to Dartford.
Yeah.
What was the main reasons for that? Was it purely to get football?
Yeah, to get football. I think they'd signed like 2 or 3 fullbacks in the transfer window on loan, and there wasn't really like I wouldn't have really played if I'd stayed. So I went on loan in March, and because I was just playing 21, so they said that it's important for me to get some men's experience going into the next season.
Yeah.
So like I loved going out on loan. I think it was a really good experience, and certainly better than playing 21s.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good.
And again, we spoke about the sort of the transition from like playing League One a bit and then going to National League. Was it like a culture shock in terms of
Like Dartford doing Conference South and so Bath.
Conference South, yeah.
One lower than National League, and a little bit in terms of like the professionalism, but I knew they were a part-time team, and since I was only there to play games, it didn't really like matter too much to me because I was still going to Charlton each day training with the first team when I wasn't training at Dartford.
Okay, so you were still training full time.
Yeah, so I was still training full time, and yeah, not really, but obviously the fact that they're part-time means it was like Tuesday evenings, Thursday evenings, they were training. So that obviously made a difference in my schedule, my routine.
Yeah. And then the level of the actual play from from Charlton, let's say, to Dartford, or League One to Conference South, is it a clear drop in terms of like I suppose the physicality, the technical ability? Do you think it's a clear drop?
I wouldn't say like
because you do get a lot of players in like National League, Conference South, Conference North where they've played at a really high level and it's sort of maybe coming to the back end of their career, or the other end where you're like yourself, where you're starting off, you're at the early stages.
I wouldn't say it was a massive drop. Obviously, the consistency between the players and then also like the professionalism. Like I think if people are more experienced, generally like they're either more experienced but like letting themselves go because they're at the tail end of their career, so they're not taking it as seriously as what they would have if they'd been playing in the Championship or in League One. And then you do have some good young players, but I say physically. It's probably physically could be as tough or if not tougher because it's a lot more direct. Yeah. So you actually come into a lot more tussles and like
so a lot more
into places. Whereas in League One, with certainly the better teams, like you don't have to come into contact as much with other players. You can just do like a nice 1-2.
Yeah. Keep it cleaner.
Like, so whereas when it's going direct and it's like long and it's in the air, there's just a lot more like physical duels and.
Well, how about actually in terms of like the amount of running? Really, like. How quick, other than the physical duels where you're having contact with the players, the running in terms of like pressing, movement?
I think it depends on the team.
Depends on the team, yeah.
Like when I was at Dartford, there wasn't really any playing at the back. So if we played a team that played out from the back, there'd be a lot of running, a lot of pressing. But if we didn't, they'd just be in the air all the time.
Yeah.
Which isn't ideal. But there are, like, you do get a few, League One game that is similar.
Yeah.
So
the difference is probably what you'd expect then.
The difference is what you expected. It's obviously a lot easier, I think. Especially this year, I found it a lot easier to get opportunities and to make stuff happen than in League One. I think it'd been a lot harder.
Yeah.
You get more chances.
Yeah.
I think.
Is there a standout player you've played against in I suppose in League One or the Conference South that you thought like he's been a problem?
Not really. Not defensively.
No.
Not defensively. There's been some good players in Conference South, and then last year, like in the Cup, I played in the Carabao Cup. We got to the quarterfinals. So I didn't actually play against Man United because we went to Old Trafford. I was on the bench. But the game before, I played against Brighton. So that was probably the best quality opposition I played against.
Yeah.
So that was like you could tell because I was expecting them to be a lot taller because I've watched them on TV for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like when I was like.
So what competition was that in? Sorry.
That was in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah. Okay.
So like I was expecting, like for example, Lallana to be a lot taller because I've seen him on the TV for like.
You just expect them
so many years. Yeah, I thought 5'10", like he's gonna be like quite tall, but he's basically like my height, a little bit smaller, a little bit taller. So it's quite surreal to see, and obviously like Lamptey's quite small.
Yeah, he's.
But they're just so technical, so good. Like how their brain works, you can tell that they're all thinking like.
How much did you play?
I played the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won on penalties, but we just sat in.
Really?
Yeah,
was that? What was your experience of that game then? Just running, tiring?
Not really. No, it wasn't. It wasn't as much running because we sat in the shape and we had 5 at the back.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more like concentration, staying in my hole. I wasn't really too tired after that game. I thought it was quite easy. What
was the score?
The score 0-0 and
0-0.
We won on penalties.
Was you during that game? Any of the Brighton players? Did you think, like we just said? I know you mentioned a few, but any that stood out?
All of them were good.
Yeah, of course.
I was really impressed by Solly March.
Really?
Like, he was on the other side to me. I didn't have to deal with him too much.
Didn't he used to play for Charlton? or not?
I'm not sure.
Or I just imagine that.
Sure, but I was really impressed by like his dribbling, his awareness, and he was like causing a lot of problems.
And thank God he's on the other side.
Yeah, when I was watching, obviously I've watched a lot of Premier League.
Yeah.
And the level there just means that I think a lot of the players go underappreciated in the like. Obviously, Brighton have done really well recently in the Premier League, but even like the bottom half of the Premier League, some of the players there, like Christie, I watched him in Marbella.
Yeah.
I thought he was unbelievable. But in the Premier League, like, because there's so many good players, like they don't rave about the players in the second, like the bottom half of the table as much. Now unbelievable.
Because you're comparing them to the best in the world.
Yeah, like it's
mad.
just ridiculous.
Yeah. It is. That's the thing. Like you're comparing all these every single player in the Premier is top. Like all of them are top, and then you see them compared to the best in the world, and you think, nah,
they're as good.
They're poor.
Then you see them actually playing there, like
they play against you, and you're thinking, wow, wow, it's true. Yeah, it is true. Right, listen, we'll go off sort of the present day now. I want to talk about sort of how you got into football, your Charlton Academy, like the academy days.
Yeah.
So first of all, how did you get signed by Charlton, and like what age was that?
So I got signed by Charlton when I was 9, but I was at Charlton since I was 6. We just
6, yeah. Wow.
But I think we had a round robin. I played for Parkwood Rangers.
You played for I played for Parkwood, yeah.
So I remember seeing you, like watching you play for Parkwood. Because I must have been 6. Oh, you're 3 years older than me?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so
24, yeah.
You'd have been like under 9. So I used to like go to Parkwood. We'd be like the young boys playing.
Yeah.
And then I'd watch the older boys. And I think you had quite a good age group as well.
Yeah, we did, to be fair.
A couple of the age groups above me were really good. And I think because Parkwood obviously quite a strong Sunday League team at that age, we had like a round robin at Charlton. Charlton scouted me. And I just trained there ever since from 6 to 9 and signed at 9.
Yeah, nice. I was actually on trial at Charlton as well, but at the same time as Palace. But I ended up signing for Palace. I think they just signed me first.
Yeah.
But so you signed at 9, and how was your time? It was obviously your first and only academy. Yeah, am I right? Yeah. So how was your time with like during the academy overall?
Yeah, it was good. I think the club were really, really good to me. The coach and staff were really good. Reece has been there for a very long time, so he's like almost followed me all the way up from 6.
Yeah,
he was doing my sessions, and I went all the way up to the academy, almost to like under 14, under 15, with him kind of overseeing it in a leadership role, and then obviously other coaches doing like 2 or 3 years with them, just playing games in the academy system. It was really good and quite smooth. Really, there was no
like any like tricky moments or like tough periods that stick out in your mind.
No,
or good.
Not up to maybe like
big injuries, anything like that?
No, nothing like that. Not up to like maybe 14, 16, where like you're thinking about the scholarship age. I did have an offer to go to Tottenham, and then my dad just had a massive go at me after that, because like he said that if I don't go to Tottenham, I need to play football, like practice more, like to make sure I get to that level and stay at that level.
Yeah. What age? What did Tottenham?
Maybe like 10.
10.
Because a scout left, and they said, yeah, we'll take him. And I was like I thought about it, and I was like, no, I'm happy at Charlton. So he was like, okay, if you stay, you need to work really hard. Like put the extra hours in. Like the transport to commute to Spurs would have been maybe like an hour.
Yeah.
It's like if we don't get to Spurs, you need to make sure you use that hour like practicing your football.
That's a good way of looking at it, actually. Yeah.
And then,
gain an hour.
So he said that, and then I stayed at Charlton, and after like 2 weeks, I don't think I did any extra football. I just carried on playing football as
you were. Yeah.
As a kid, like I was only like 11 at that time.
Yeah, fair enough. And what position was you at, like throughout the younger?
So I started off right midfield, because you play like 7-a-side.
Yeah.
Then I got moved to right back, and I said I don't want to play right back. So then I ended up, after been asking for like maybe 2 years, they let me play midfield. So when it was like under 11 on the 12, I ended up playing centre midfield, and I managed to stay there until under 18. And then actually
then it goes, yeah. Was it? So you signed your scholar.
Yeah.
And then you went on and signed your first pro contract.
Yeah, I signed a schoolboy actually, because I stayed at Beth's.
Oh really?
Yeah. I did my A levels.
Oh, so you fully. So you didn't do, because at Palace you'd sign your scholar and you'd have the option to do your A levels at, like you'd still be at Palace though.
Yeah, because Charlton, like, I think you could only do 1 A level at Charlton with the tuition from the PFA.
Okay.
And the funding, they wouldn't let me do 3 A levels, and my dad was quite keen on me doing my A levels. So long story short, I ended up rejecting the scholarship offer and signing a schoolboy.
So what's the difference with that?
Well, it just meant I didn't get paid.
Really?
Yeah, I was playing for Charlton.
No way.
Like doing a scholarship, but I wasn't being paid, and I was still going to school doing my A levels.
Oh.
So yeah, I spent 2 years doing that.
Fair play. So So you weren't getting paid for the like under 18, under 17, under 18.
Yeah.
And you were still training with Charlton though.
Yeah, so I was training, I was playing. Like,
so where did you do your education at Beth's?
Yeah, Beth's. Yeah.
So what happened on like, because obviously education at Beth's would be like during the day.
Yeah.
So would generally the training would be during the day, surely.
Yeah, it worked out quite well. I think I only missed Monday from Charlton because basically I did maths, economics, and chemistry, but the maths, I only had one maths lesson a week.
Okay.
So I was tutored at Beth's, so I only did 2 hours of maths every week, and then I obviously caught up on all the extra work away from school and away from Charlton. So I just did that by myself.
So you weren't in Beth's a lot? You weren't at school a lot then?
No, I was there like half the time.
Building.
Wednesday was a day off, so I was there the full day, and then Friday I went in the afternoon, Thursday I went in the afternoon.
Yeah,
so
nice.
yeah, I was only there like half the time really. But obviously it meant that I had to do a lot of work in my free time.
Yeah. And then you're not getting paid for.
Yeah, and I'm not getting paid.
I suppose, like looking back, it's good that you got that done though.
Yeah, it's probably worth it, but it doesn't really feel like that now because obviously all I want to do is play football. So I don't really think.
And that's ended up happening, I suppose.
Yeah, but it is pretty good to have it in the background.
Yeah. But then you still ended up doing that and signing your pro.
Yeah.
What age did you sign your pro?
At 18.
18, yeah. How was that? So you come through the whole academy from, like you said, from 6, signed under 9s, the whole way through to signing your pro contract there. How did that? Must have been a good feeling.
Yeah, it was good. I'd worked very hard, like over COVID. Yeah, I knew that I wanted to play football. That was the age where I kind of like zoned in completely. So I was spending a lot of time playing football by myself in the lockdown, and all I wanted to do was obviously get my A levels. But the main thing for me was to make sure I was in full-time football.
Yeah. So
at the age of 19 without having any education.
Yeah.
So I was very happy to just like that pro contract just allowed me to focus fully on football, which was the biggest thing for me, I think.
Yeah, it's just confirmed it, like, right, the hard work's paid off and I can really, like, 100% on this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what year was that actually you signed? Like, what calendar year?
I'm not sure. I think I'm third year pro now, so it would have been 3 years ago.
So was it during all the COVID stuff?
Pretty 2021.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it was before that. So you would have had to go through all COVID with as your scholarship. Was that your second year scholar as that started? The end of it.
Yeah, second year scholar. That was when like COVID was happening, and we set marquees up and all that stuff. Yeah, because there was periods where obviously we weren't allowed to play football, and then we had to come back.
Yeah, and so they'd probably be. I don't know. Did they hand out less pros than usual then?
No, my age group did well. We won the league, and then they ended up offering about.
Because a lot of clubs struggled financially after that. So, yeah,
7
or 8. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of my age group were offered pros. We had quite a good year, so it didn't affect that too much.
No, okay, that's not too bad then. And were there any coaches or players during your time at Charlton, like through the academy, that you'd say had a big impact, big help on your development?
Yeah, I think from about 14 I was playing up with the under-15s, under-16s, and at the time there was a coach, Anthony Hayes, who was there.
Yeah.
And I literally went up with him from the under-14s all the way up to the first team. So from under-14s.
Oh, really? Oh, so he's... Wow.
Yeah, so like he got the next job every year, and I went up with him, and he had the scholarship age group when I was in under-18s. Then he went to the 21s when I spent my season in the 21s. And then he got to the first team like 3 weeks before I got to the first team.
No way.
And then like... Yeah, so I went...
You're just following him.
All the way up with him. So he obviously played a huge role. And like, a few of the other staff I've been with for a very long time, but him, like, especially from 14 all the way up like that. Obviously, the academy manager, Steve Avery, I spent a lot of time with him.
Yeah.
In the under-18s, and he kind of oversees everything in the academy. And Reece Williams, who I went up with from basically under-9 to under-12, and he's always been in the background, even when I was going up higher.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like taking sessions here or there, getting involved.
So he was around the place,
Yeah, not the main coach.
Yeah.
So I'd say those 3 people probably.
What would you, with them 3, either all of them or and like either one of them, was there like a specific thing they done that you thought really helped you? Like, I don't know, was it very good man managing, or was it just the fact that they were with you the whole way through it?
I think Reece and like Steve Avery, they were more like managerial, like overseeing everything.
Yeah.
And they'd also coach as well. But Anthony was like my main actual coach.
Okay.
For almost like five years, really.
Yeah, that's mad.
I think about it.
Yeah.
So like just all of the individual stuff, him analysing my game, talking to me about what I need to improve, how he sees me, and yeah, just all of the tactical detail that he's helped me with and technical bits to keep working on myself. It's been invaluable. Yeah,
and I suppose if it's someone you're really comfortable with and you know that's like Avenue, you know they sort of like you, then it gives you more confidence, and the fact you're with him for so long would have just helped your helped that grow, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so. Like, there's been some like tough moments where he's like,
where he don't like you.
Yeah, he's told me that you need to improve in this, and this.
But that's what you want. You don't want. You need
of course. That. So it's been good. I mean, it's weird because he was such a good coach. I didn't mind being with him that long. But at the same time, I think it would have been good to also have like just different coaches.
It would prepare you, I suppose, better for adapting to different styles.
Especially because now in the first team environment, I've had like, I think since I've been over in the first team since Bengano, there might have been like 4 managers, including interim, maybe 6. And then there's also like going on loan and being with different managers. Like there's so much turnover in football.
It's basically like going on trial again as a first team player, like 5-6 times.
Yeah, after I've left, like that phase where like I was going up the academy and all the coaching stuff, I kind of knew them so well. Like since that phase has ended, since I've arrived into the first team, it's just like completely the opposite.
Yeah. It's a big shock, I suppose. Like,
yeah, but it's part of football.
Yeah.
And I kind of always knew that anyway, so I wasn't unprepared to deal with it.
Yeah, of course. That's football, mate. It's ruthless industry. So we spoke about the coaches. Was there a standout player that, not in terms of like your development or anything like that, but in terms of like you just thought at your age was like unbelievable? Whether maybe it's in the academy or someone you played against, like against other academies your age.
It's tough because there's so many, like when you're in the academy football, you play so many good teams, and obviously at Charlton there's I think maybe 5 or 6 boys now in the first team that are doing really well, and they're all very good players. You play like the likes of Chelsea. My age were just unbelievable.
Yeah, I think most ages, mate.
Yeah, but they had like Jamal, Levi, Colwell.
Yeah.
Like Lewis, one of my mates that went to school with me, and now they're just all like playing in Championship, Premier League. Some of them.
Yeah.
Like
Champions League.
Yeah, their issue was unbelievable. They were the best by far.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole team was just...
So is that Jamal Musiala?
Yeah, Jamal Musiala was in that team.
Just played against Arsenal in the Champions League quarter-final.
But like, there was a period where like he wasn't even like
the best,
like, the main player. Like he was obviously like one of the main players, but the whole team was just unbelievable. Like,
really, yeah.
Yeah, we played them. And
so did he not? When you played Chelsea, did he not stand out the most?
No, he did, but we just got beat like 9-0, and there'd be like 4 or 5 players that you just thought were unbelievable.
Yeah, so there'd be a group of them.
Yeah, like they were just such a good team.
Yeah.
Going up the age groups, like every single year we'd get. Like I remember when we were under 9, I think we lost maybe like it was like 7-a-side. You played like 2 round robins because you got like 2 7-a-side teams, and then we must have lost like 7-0, 7-0, something just ridiculous, like 7-8-0.
That's what it was.
We're finished. Like we've got heads down. Like time to go home, and then they just play each other. Like they had a 7-a-side team. Obviously, they're one team, and then another team, and they were just like playing each other to get a better game in.
A bit more competition.
It's
mad, that, isn't it? Yeah, it's mad. You ain't given enough competition, so that's disheartening, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, especially at a young age. Like I remember, I think we had a chat after we came back, and then they had like like board meeting where everyone comes in and they say like, don't get disheartened and all this stuff.
So you've played them for however long, let's say 80 minutes, and they're thinking, right, we have another game after because we've not got enough of these.
And that's like going up, like that was at 9, but that team again stayed pretty similar like the whole way through. So every time we played them, like obviously some of them started to play up and move up as well, but that team
similar story.
Yeah, that was definitely the main standout team, I think, playing in the academy football at my age.
Yeah, that's mad. And that Chelsea always bring through so many good players through the academy, but they let a lot go as well, didn't they? Like, I don't know what age Musiala left, but it was quite early, wasn't it?
Before scholarship age.
Yeah, it's mad.
Something happened and he was able to go free to Brighton. And that was...
Wow, that's a lot of money they lost out on. Madness. Right, we'll come off your sort of academy time. I just want to talk about international, okay? So you did... Am I right in saying you got a call up at the end of last year?
Yeah.
For the under 23s?
Yeah.
For Malaysia?
I had a call up and I went to train, but I got my documentation, so I was able to play. Because before that, I was kind of waiting for my documentation. That process took like 1 year from start to finish.
Like your clearance to play, yeah.
To get that sorted. So it was in the works for a long time, and I finally was able to meet up with the boys and train with them, and that was a really good experience.
Yeah. So how did it feel when you first got? So that would have been your first time, like you said, that you called up to the national side. Whether it be even whatever age, but under 23s it was.
Yeah.
What was your feelings when you first found out?
Well, I was kind of already there. I was just stressing over the paperwork.
Oh, really? Oh, so you already got called up?
Well, I wasn't already called up. I was in Malaysia.
Oh,
so
okay.
I obviously wanted to train with the boys, so I was just kind of waiting for the paperwork to be finalised.
Got ya.
For me to actually then officially get the call up.
Yeah.
But once the paperwork had been sorted, that had been like a year, and there were moments where I wasn't sure if it was going to be possible. So there's been a lot of ups and downs just to get that over the line, to have that opportunity. So once I finally knew that I'd be able to play for the national team, it was just quite a surreal experience.
Yeah, I bet. And was it what you expected in terms of the whole experience, the style of football? Was it what you expected?
Like, it was hard. It's hard to say really, because we played at the KL City Stadium.
Okay,
one of the teams in the MFL, the Malaysian Football League, and like playing obviously in Malaysia, like the weather is completely different. The grass is completely different.
Hot, no?
It's hot. It's very humid. Like I'd say I'm one of the fitter people in general, but playing in that weather, like I'd make 2 or 3 runs forward, and then I was like
dying.
I'd been in the sauna for like 20 minutes, like, and I was ready to stop. So it was a lot. There's a lot of different experiences that came out of that, and that's the only time I've been able to go, because in December Charlton didn't let me go. They had 2 friendlies against China. I wasn't able to go, and obviously now I'm injured. I'm not able to play with them in the Asia Cup
which is happening this month, is it?
Yeah, it's happening this month.
Oh, okay. Gutting, mate. Gutting with the injuries, isn't it?
Yeah.
So no, well, unfortunately, hopefully you still get another opportunity in the future then.
Yeah, I think so, but like that doesn't come around too much. So that definitely hurts a lot now that I'm not playing. I'm missing out on that, but it's part of football, and I just let it fuel me to make sure I come back stronger and come back ready for pre-season.
Yes, 100%. And in terms of the style, like I mentioned it there, the style of football, but the level, was that tough? Was it what you expected? Was it a completely different style of football?
Not really, no. The boys were all good, all technical. Obviously, physically, Malaysia and being in Asia compared to like League One,
it's different.
Yeah, like the centre backs aren't as big. The striker isn't
not
as
Route
big.
1.
Yeah, not as physical, and certainly not as direct. But the coach has actually been, like, he was a coach at Barcelona in the setup at La Masia.
Oh, wow.
So that was very technical and actually very similar to like what I've experienced in the academy setup at Charlton and in the first team. So in terms of behind the scenes, it was very good, very professional.
Yeah.
And just very, very good environment.
Nice. And what, in terms of obviously the language, what language is?
Malay.
Malay.
Yeah, they speak Malay. They speak English as well, but Malay is the language.
Oh, okay,
Malaysia.
cool. And do a lot of the players like speak English in the team?
Yeah, most of them speak English. Some speak
so communication's like not. Was it a problem out there when you're playing or not?
Not a massive problem. Some speak better English than others. Not everyone could like speak as like well as English for me to speak English to them on the pitch.
Yeah.
But
do you speak Malay?
I've been learning Malay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get better.
Yeah. Is that purely for football or just for
everything? Yeah,
just
like
for life.
Being in Malaysia, and I think it's a good string to have to my bow, but also important to be able to communicate with my teammates in their language, because I'm obviously coming over and I'm playing for the national team. I think I should speak Malay. I don't think I should be going there speaking English to.
Yeah, you should. They shouldn't accommodate to you, really. Yeah, it should be.
No, absolutely. So I've been learning it for that reason. But it's been a bit tough to learn Malay the last few months.
It sounds it, mate. It sounds it.
I'm not playing in the Asia Cup.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there, in terms of like the cups, is there another one coming up maybe like end of next year that you can sort of set your eyes on?
I've not really thought about that, to be honest. I just thought about having a good pre-season. I think the next step for me is to play for the national team anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll just put my focus on to making my debut for the men's team.
Yeah.
Making sure like I kick on with my career in England.
Let's talk about that actually. So obviously, I want to talk about sort of your plans for the future, your goals. So your goals for the end of the season, well, obviously you're injured. So is it purely just your only focus is on rehab?
My goal now is to just
short-term goal.
Be very well, obviously to make sure my hamstring's fine going into next season, make sure my body's good, to make sure I don't keep picking up injuries, and then to go into pre-season fully fit. Probably do a bit of technical work over the off-season once I've kind of like built my running back up with my hamstring, and just redial in to make sure I keep improving my game and go into pre-season the best possible place. And then from there, when the ball's at your feet, like I kind of think I'm in control completely. Yeah. So as soon as I feel fully fit, and then I feel like it's completely in my hands when I'm playing football. It's just when you're
the actual technical side you're happy with,
It's just when you're injured, like you can't control like what's going to happen because you're not playing.
Yeah, no,
when you're
of course.
playing, like it doesn't really matter to me where I'm playing, what level I'm playing. I just need to go out, show what I can do, and then good things happen from there.
Yeah. So the pre-season that will be with Charlton, will it? Back with Charlton.
I think I'm out of contract. I'm out of contract in the summer, so I'm not sure where I'll be next year. So
time will tell, I suppose. Yeah, time will tell. And you touched on it a little bit, but your long-term goals. Do you have a lot of long-term goals in your mind? I mean, ones that you want to share, maybe.
Well, in terms of football, I think the first goal that anyone has in England is playing the Premier League.
Yeah.
So that's my long-term goal.
That's the top.
Yeah, that's all I really think about, playing in the Premier League. Obviously, at the moment, I've got a long road ahead, but it can be a lot quicker than what you think, and it can also be a lot longer than what you expect.
It can change so quick.
Yeah, it can change so quickly. So that's the only goal I have in my head, is what I really want to achieve. And to be fair, every time I've set a goal in my life, I have achieved it. Sometimes it takes longer than others, but up until this point, I've never put my mind to something and not achieved it. So
there you go.
I do believe that I'm going to achieve it, but how the road looks to get there, I'm not sure at the moment.
No, of course not, but I suppose that's what makes it exciting, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right, well, I just wanted to finish off with some quick fire questions, yeah?
Yeah.
So I say quick fire, but they can be as long as you want, yeah? All right, okay, cool. So I've got 10 here, pretty much. So who the best player you've played with?
At the moment, probably Jeremy Semiento.
Yeah, okay.
Ipswich,
yeah.
From Brighton. He's obviously doing a madness in the Championship. Yeah,
any reason? Any reason for that?
Just his dribbling.
Yeah.
How he ran with the ball. He almost ran with the ball like a sprinter in the academy days. Like, just sprint, change direction, the ball would just still be with him.
Yeah.
It's just a joke.
Yeah, okay. And against? Or was that
against? Probably Mitoma last year.
Mitoma, okay, Brighton, yeah, of course.
He was obviously tripping out afterwards in the Premier as well.
Yeah, he went on. He's not been as on form this year, has he?
Yeah, he's been injured, I think, a little bit. And just,
yeah, okay, fair enough. Two good picks. Quickest player at either Charlton, Bath or Dartford? Quickest player you've played with?
Corey Blackett-Taylor.
Where's that at?
He signed for Derby in the last transfer window.
Okay.
He was like just rapid.
What position?
Winger,
yeah. Really? With the ball or just?
With the ball, like very, like he's got skills and stuff,
Yeah.
but just rapid.
Rapid,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like we'd get the ball, just touch and
Nice.
take it online. No one could like.
No one's close to him, yeah.
It's impossible.
Is he winning He's winning all the tests in pre-season?
Sprint testing,
Yeah.
like, well, I'm not sure about testing, but
He's rapid.
yeah, by far the biggest player I've played.
Nice. Your footballing idol growing up or now?
Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, now as well.
Now.
So
Yeah.
Steven Gerrard will say like footballing idol. Is there one now who's still playing you look at?
Probably like Jude Bellingham at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, what he's doing, his mentality, I think he's like setting the bar for that. And also as a young player, I think he might even be a little bit younger than me, but what he's doing as a young player, his mentality, how he's navigated his career, I'd probably say like he's a very good model that I look at now.
Yeah, the perfect one at the moment, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Okay, the best stadium you've played in?
Probably the Valley.
Yeah?
Yeah, because a lot of our games are at home. And then
It's a top stadium for League One.
Yeah, it's
well good
an
stadium.
unbelievable stadium. When it was full against Brighton, it was like an unbelievable experience.
Yeah, okay, fair play. If you weren't a footballer, what do you reckon you'd be doing right now? I know you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I'd probably try and just earn money, to be honest. I'd probably worry about what I want to do in my life after earning a lot of money, so probably like an investment bank or trading. Or
Something to do with finance.
Yeah, anything to make money, like a lot of money as quick as possible.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's fair enough. But like in finance, do you reckon, or something like that?
Yeah, finance or start a company, it's just anything.
Okay, cool, yeah. If you could play alongside one current footballer now, who would it be? Other than Jude Bellingham.
That's quite a hard question. Maybe.
Well, let's say what position? Let's say you're right mid, right? And what right back would you want behind you?
Right back behind me. Probably someone like Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker, yeah.
No one's getting past him.
Yeah.
You have to track back too much to like overcompensate for him, and then just feed you.
Yeah. Kyle Walker, nice. Okay, so you've got a last minute penalty to save your life. Okay, who do you want on it?
Probably James Milner. As
Really?
A Liverpool fan, yeah.
Really? Yeah. Are you a Liverpool fan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Hence the Gerrard. Okay.
Yeah, he's never
James Milner.
I can't remember
over someone like Kane.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'd never ever I can never remember him missing an important penalty for Liverpool ever.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair play.
Everyone else they've always had a moment where they've missed something. They missed a important penalty.
But he's not. Yeah.
Or Mbappe.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Nice. Best piece of advice you've been given?
Not sure. Like maybe just never give up, keep going, and if you believe in it, like always back yourself and whatever anyone else says. Obviously, a lot of people do get released from football clubs every year, and you see what they go on to do after they've left their club. So probably just to keep going if you believe in yourself, don't give up, and don't let other people's decisions affect your career.
Yeah, no, well said. And last one to finish off. Okay, best moment in football.
For me,
yeah, your best moment in football.
Probably the Brighton game when we won on penalties in front of a full Valley. Because the first time that I played and made my debut was against Forest Green. The attendance might have been maybe like 18,000.
Yeah.
16,000. The Valley's obviously like 30,000, 25,000 stadium. So
and it was against that top opposition.
Yeah, I had that in my head. Like I was like, this is great, but I have to play in front of a full Valley. If I'm playing in the first team, like before I obviously leave, I want to play in front of a full Valley. And that game, like the Valley was like completely packed. And yeah, it was just an amazing experience. Like, because obviously watching Charlton and growing up in the academy, I have seen the Valley when it's full, but since when League One, it's not full regularly and it's not full very often. Maybe for like playoff games only. So I had that in my head as that's what I want to do. And thankfully I was able to do that. Yeah, that's top. Well, Richard, I think we'll leave it there, mate. Yeah, appreciate you coming on, and I've enjoyed it. Thank you for having me. Nice one.